Hi everyone. In this week's immigrant video, I'm going to talk to you about culture shock. And I'm sure you have read about this or have heard about this, but culture shock is when you go from one culture to another culture and a lot of things surprise you, even shock you about the new culture that you've never experienced before, and more importantly, that you didn't anticipate. I've lived in 6 countries all over the world, and even though 5 of them have been English-speaking countries, I've still experienced culture shock. If you're familiar with my work and you've watched a lot of my videos, I have told you about cultural faux pas, mistakes that I have made, and silly little errors that I've made, not even thinking about it because it's not my culture. Then you get surprised by the reactions of those around you. Growing up in South Africa, nobody used public transport. Public transport was not established there, and it's just beginning. A good public transport system is just beginning to be established now. Everybody drove around in their cars. I had a little motorbike when I wasn't old enough to drive, and then I had my own little car. And so when I moved to New Zealand and I had to take public transport because it was too expensive to park in the city, it was a culture shock for me. I was not used to taking public transport. And for people that have spent their lives taking public transport, like many of my friends and students that live in Istanbul in Turkey, which has an incredible public transport system, or maybe people who live in New York where all they do is take public transport, to then have a culture where you have to be in your car and in traffic and on highways and following traffic rules all day, every day, is also culture shock. My advice to you is learn as many of the local customs as you can. Be gentle in the way that you speak. As people in a country that you are going to move to are very sensitive about their country. They're extremely sensitive about their culture, and they do not like anybody who is not from their culture making any negative comments about it, in much the same that you wouldn't like somebody to come into your house and start making a lot of negative comments about your decor or your children or your animals or how you do anything. We're very territorial when it comes to our own space, and people are like that when you move to their country. Trust me, I know. I have made this mistake before, and it's not pleasant. So one of the biggest pieces of advice I will give you is never, never, never complain to the locals. Please never complain to the locals. If you're struggling with something, if you're struggling to deal with something, find people from your own culture or other immigrants and chat to each other about it and work through it that way. But you are not going to have a good experience if you complain to the locals, because even if they agree with you, even if it is something that frustrates them as much as it is frustrating you, they're not going to be happy that you're the one pointing it out. And it would be in your best interest just to keep that to yourself. Find others to talk to about it. You will need to let off some steam. And you will need to talk about some things that you are struggling with. Take my advice. I've made that mistake. Don't do it with the locals. It will not turn out well. Hopefully your culture shock will not be too great, but there is some beauty in it. Because sometimes you find some culture and some customs that you really do like, that are much better than the ones where you came from. Good luck. Have fun settling into your new home, and I'll see you for another video soon.